Hey guys, welcome to the FDU cast. You with your boys, Alex, Reggie, Yoni, and Jesse. How are we going? How was the weekend?
We are going very good. Well, I am at least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can't complain.
yeah, same here. It's a Sunday, but all good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Reggie, I heard you should have got sent off yesterday in soccer. What happened there?
No comment.
Okay, forget about it. Jesse, how was it? How was it seeing the Matildas L in person?
I mean, I've seen a W and I've seen an L. Just hopefully tomorrow is not a draw.
Yeah, you don't want a D tomorrow, do you, Jesse?
No,
A draw's fine though, isn't it, for the Matildas?
no,
No, they need
we
to
need to
win.
win.
No, we need to win.
Yeah.
Ha!
Gotta actually win. Same
Yeah.
back though, which is good news. Good news.
Have they confirmed she's back?
Yeah. She said she's
Have you
fit to
have you
play.
listened to that to that press conference? Oh my!
Nah.
The first five questions are all like the media
Saw the
asking
part-
her if she's going to be playing.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, look, I don't really want to give up opposition the tactics, so I'd rather not really say." And then the next guy will ask the exact same question.
I reckon
It's journalists
I
for
reckon-
you, mate. It's journalists.
she's gonna be a super sub. She'll they'll
Yeah,
start
she won't
they'll,
start.
they'll start Mary Fowler and bring Kerr on in the 40
Is
second
Fowler
half.
back?
Yeah,
Is
she's
Fowler
back.
Oh, that's good. That's
The,
good.
Then
the
I'll start-
concern will be though if we concede in the first half, right?
Well, our defense is not horrible. We like
You conceded
Nigeria
Three
beat
the other
us.
day, right?
Yeah, but Nigeria's faster than us. We were just not prepared for their speed at all. Like the only side that was doing well was Carpenter's side, and that's because she could keep up with them. They just too fast, and then their defenders were taller than all of our attackers. So like, there's a reason we did better once we put Alana Kennedy, a centre back, up front to try and head balls in.
That's
But-
fair.
If we draw and Ireland wins somehow, do we go through?
And I'm not too sure. Maybe potentially on head to head.
Mm.
But we lost to Nigeria, so I don't know. Doubt it.
No, we need to get the win.
As
yeah.
much as I love
Gotta go for it.
carpenters and other trades, why don't you explain what we're doing tonight, Alex? Something different.
I do love. I mean, you love them. I don't know about me. So today we're doing something different. So we're looking at the 15 most expensive transfers from last season. So the 2022-23 season. So basically from last summer's window and the January window, and we're going to be ranking them as you can see in a tier list. We've got 5 categories to pick from. We've got better than Bitcoin, good, potential, outlook not so good, and who approved this. So we'll be going through them, starting with the most expensive and working our way downwards. Like I said, the most 15 expensive from the past 12 months. But without further ado, let's get started into it. The first one, most expensive player of the year, was Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea, playing as a midfielder for a fee of 121 million euros. Want to rattle off some statistics. We're going to do this for each player, but we'll rattle off some statistics in regards to their league play and their current market value, just to see, I guess, to help inform our rankings into where we want to rank these players. So Fernandez was bought for 121 million euros, but currently his market value is only at 55 million euros, and in 18 league appearances, he's only got 2 assists. He's got no goals. Where do you think we should be placing Enzo in this ranking?
I'll just quickly jump right in. I don't think it's fair to really put his goals and assists in.
Agreed.
He's a defensive midfielder. I mean,
That's fair.
if he's popping up with 2 assists throughout the time he's had with Chelsea, that's decent for him. Definitely should probably judge him more on the results that they've had. Probably, and they're not been great. I don't
I
know.
still think he was probably one of the better players last season.
Yeah.
When we watched the games, and he really didn't benefit from the rest of the team just not being good. Like, and he's not really just a CDM where you stay back, like, you know, Carrick Wood or Kante or whatever. He does need somebody else with him to do that role. He's better at a 2, but heaps of good, like, successful passes, 89%. You know, more than 50% tackle success as well. So defending wise, he does do pretty good.
Yeah.
Out
I
of all
think
the Chelsea transfers that they did make, because they did make a lot of strange moves, it's probably the one that made the most sense aside from
Yes.
how much it ended up costing them.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
just Benfica. You know, they know how to sell players.
I know
Yeah, the only
you'd look at this as like his performance with Chelsea, but if you look at his overall performance for the season, he was a very great player, World Cup and for Benfica. So like, with Chelsea, I mean, he walked into a team that was they didn't even know what they were doing. I mean, he only had 3 wins in the league with Chelsea, but
He
Chelsea,
did have the handicap of Frank.
yeah, he had Lampard, he had Potter, who I don't. Potter wasn't really ready for.
He's not a
team, I
magician,
guess.
is he?
No. So I think
You're not a wizard, Graham.
yeah. Well, I think he did what he did the best that he could with where he was at. But yeah, like Nick,
Yeah.
I reckon this season coming is where you would really judge if he's a proper flop or not. I would say he's definitely in the potential category.
I agree. I definitely think potential. I think hopefully for them, if they do get Caicedo next to him, I think that it will bring out the best of Enzo Fernandez. Because if you just ask him to sit and just make tackles and recycle the passes, it's really not going to be getting the best out of him, especially for the fee and the contract that they've got. So it definitely potential. Like I'm with you there, Jesse. He's got a lot of talent, and we know what he is capable of in a functioning side. We saw how great he was at the World Cup. So if Chelsea, now that they've had a preseason with Poch, Clear and Deadwood, sign a midfielder next to him, I think we should see the best of Endo Fernandez. So I would agree with potential.
Yeah, I think the potential more so lies on the team around him, like you guys are mentioning. It's not so much his capability, because he's doing his job. He's come into the club at a very shitty time. So I'm happy for potential as well.
Yeah, nice, easy one for the first one. That's good.
Great. Moving on to one that I think is going to be quite polarizing. So just bear with me. We've got Anthony for Man United, who signed for a fee of 95 million euros, currently got a market value of 35 million. In 25 league appearances, he's got 4 goals and 2 assists. I have a few feelings on how this is going to go. I'll personally just chuck my Man United hat on it and just say potential. The reason I think so is because he had a mixed start to his season. He had some good moments, had some bad moments. I do think, again, it's a team that really wasn't that good in an attacking sense. We were doing a lot of counter-attacking, not really getting him a chance to express himself and do what he wants to do.
I don't know. I saw it spin once or twice,
Yeah, well, he's definitely a fidget spinner, the human CD. But I think with going into this season now that we're going to have a bit more of cohesion, a bit more of a purpose in the way that we play now that we've had a year under Ten Hag, I think we will start to see a bit more of the best out of him, what we saw at Ajax. But definitely overpriced, don't get me wrong, but I still think potential. I don't think it's going to be a flop. I think it's potential personally, but that's just me.
Yeah, the price is a good talking point, because it is something that Man United get hit with. Clubs, especially in the surrounding areas of Europe, they know Man United have the money. They know Man United are in this constant transitioning phase, so they're desperate to get the players that they're after. So they kind of hold that over their head and usually leverage it into paying way more than what another club would.
Unfortunately, with this situation as well with Anthony, United could have got him for about, I think it was about 25, 30 mil less than what they paid if they got him earlier in the transfer window. But then they decided to wait. And then we started the season, lost, and they were like, all right, we need to spend all this money. So that was United's fault, which is really frustrating, because at 60, 65 million, I think he gets a lot less criticism from, other fans and pundits than at 95 million.
I agree. Jesse?
I had him in potential as well. Look, overall, his season wasn't great, but he did start off good. Like his first 3 Premier League games, he was scoring every game.
He scored against Arsenal, right?
On debut.
Yeah, debut against Arsenal, and then
I know
City.
somebody else who did that, and we love him right now.
And then he scored against City, Arsenal, and Everton in his first 3 Premier League games.
Who doesn't score against Arsenal, though? Let's be serious.
Yeah,
that's true.
Darwin
Who doesn't
Núñez
score against Everton, to be fair. He did also have the winner and an amazing performance against Barcelona on the return, just FYI.
Yeah, look, I think he's definitely a Ten Hag player. It's someone Ten Hag wanted. That's the reason you guys went and signed him. You didn't sign him because you wanted him. You signed him because that's who your manager wanted. You would expect his ability in the team to be better. He did spend a fair bit of time injured, and adapting to the Premier League from a team that's always winning in Ajax in the Dutch league. Yeah, I gave up on that. He's gone from a team that's always winning to a team that's in that transition phase. Hopefully he kicks on a bit more this season. Clearly there's something managers seeing him, because he is getting called up for Brazil. He's getting called up for United constantly. So he's just got the potential. He just needs to really kind of kick on.
I do want to say as well, like he was very one-dimensional last season, which was really frustrating. It's always go left, like cut in. But in preseason, we've seen him a couple of times actually try to run around on the right side of the wing and then trying to move in from there rather than just always cutting in. So it was pretty nice to see him try something different for a change.
Yeah, so definitely one with potential. Again, with a similar situation with Enzo, that it's gonna be based around the team around him at the same time, rather than his ability. We know he can play, but yeah, I think Man United have a bit more of an organised plan than what Chelsea have currently. So I think we'll probably end up seeing a better season from him, and yeah, the potential is there.
Great, awesome. Well, we're in agreement for the first two. We've got now the
That's
next one.
strange.
Yeah, I know. I really thought the answer was going to be more polarizing. I'm a bit let down, but that's okay, because we've still got plenty more to go. So we've got now number 3, Wesley Fofana to Chelsea, 80.4 million euros with a current market value of 40 million euros. He played 17 appearances across the entirety of the league season. No really point in rattling off his goals and assists, because that doesn't really matter. He is a centre back. We'll say, I guess, with what Jesse mentioned with regard to Enzo Fernandez, and you got to look at, I guess, defensive stats in the position in the league. Well, Fofana was there for the whole year and they finished 12th. He also spent a lot of time injured last season, and he's now out for this season with a torn ACL.
You go first, Jesse.
I mean, straight up, outlook not so good.
I agree.
I think he's got he definitely has the potential to be great, but he's always injured. He's like Marco Reus, but worse. Like this he's what? How old is he? 22.
23?
He's 20. He's 22, and he's missed 82 games in his career due to injuries.
And there are no light injuries either, like torn ACLs, season changing or career changing.
I'm actually
after his breakout.
Like
it made sense that they needed a centre back.
It did make sense, but
just didn't work out.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm thinking outlook not so good.
The way I see it is, if he can stay injury free, he's going to be great for them. But that's a big if. He's just not been. He's not able to stay injury free so far. He's like constantly finding a new way to injure himself. Like, not saying it's his fault, but he's just every couple of games. Like, I feel like you just hear that he's out.
Injured. Think when he did play as well, like at least like watching him, I know Chelsea as a whole were bad, but watching him play in particular, he just did not look good at all. I know it's more of a system issue, and defending is as much as about the system in place as is the individuals, but he really just looked shaky, looked so unsure of himself. So I
remember the game against United.
Don't think it was
horrendous.
Yeah. I mean, look, but again, the whole team were. I mean, look, Chelsea's a weird case because the whole team were just horrendous. But I mean, as much as you don't want to sort of put the blame all on players, Fofana just hasn't really looked good since his first season at Leicester, to be fair. And they bought him for that price on the back of his prior season to Leicester not being that good either. So he really hasn't been the same since before he actually first broke his leg. That's the way I see it. Reggie, what have you got to say about Wesley Fofana?
Yeah, I've got nothing to add. So I'll stick with outlook not so good as well.
I want to add something as well after.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
But I honestly also don't even know when he's going to get game time. Like, they have Colwill now, who did really well last season, is now back. And it's the same age as he's a couple of years younger than Fofana. And then they have also Badiashile, who is the same age as Fofana and has played like more than 100 senior games. I just think both of them will end up being ahead of Fofana. And you obviously have Thiago Silva as the the captain. I think honestly, at 80 million with the injury record, like, and the fact that there's probably three centre backs ahead of him at the moment, I don't see him getting game time.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Neither,
all I was
but-
going to add is that, like, the only thing he has in his favour is his age. They've paid way more than they should have, probably because of that. And yeah, because of his injuries, we're not really getting much of a sample size to judge him on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and
one thing I will
Chalobah
say
as well.
though,
By the
the
way,
one thing was Thiago Silva is old as shit, and Koulibaly has now left, so there's a bit more opening in those centre back spots.
but
especially
Colwell's
in
there
terms of
now
back
as
three.
well, and
He
there's
is,
also
but
Chalobah.
if they play with the back three, there will be more.
If
room
they
to
play a
step.
back
I'm with
three,
you there.
yes.
I look, I definitely agree with you to an extent. I just don't want to say who will prove this because I think that's like I know which player we're reserving that for.
Yeah, but we also
for
don't know
Fofana.
who approved it because they're a basket case over there.
Yeah,
Chelsea.
all the Chelsea. ones.
Well, it's probably down to Todd Bowley, which we've discussed at length what we think of him. But I think, yeah, with Fofana, given everything that has happened and transpired, it is not so good. But yeah, again, all unanimous agreeing. Now on to number 4. We've got Darwin Nunez for Liverpool, 80 million euros, current value of 55 million euros. He had played in the league 29 games for a return of 9 goals and 3 assists. Reggie, as the Liverpool fan here, I'll let you start off.
Yeah, taking my Liverpool hat off, well, maybe I should keep it on a bit. It's hard to judge because, like, he was signed as a striker. He struggled as a striker for quite some time, but started to find some form when he played in that left wing role, where he kind of drifts towards the centre. Yeah, so being a striker, you got to judge him on his goals and assists, and he wasn't scoring a lot. And we were going through a pretty tough period at that time as well, so it doesn't reflect very nicely on him. But he's at a decent age. He's definitely got the ability. It's just where he's going to settle into. He's scoring in pre-season now, so maybe it was kind of a settling in phase. But yeah, for me, it's a potential one still, just because he's very unpredictable.
I do think maybe his stats aren't as bad because if you count all of the games that he's played for Liverpool, I think he's got like 17 goal involvements in 40 games, which is not.
He's got 19 goal involvements, 15 goals for assists.
There you go. Yeah. So it's not that bad, really, in however many games, 40, 41, whatever the case is. So, and you can see from the beginning, you could see the potential. Obviously, the price tag's ridiculous. Again, most of these at the top are. But yeah, I think potential's probably where I would chuck him.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think he's very raw as well. There's a lot that he still needs to work on. He's got, really iffy first touch, but he moves really well, really runs hard, energetic, athletic. And I think if you give him, a year or two with Klopp to train him, I think you're really going to see his potential because he does all the right things. You just can't finish. You just can't finish.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like Lukaku.
Yes.
That first touch, can't finish.
Yes.
But Lukaku was a beast until at the same age, at 24, Lukaku was a beast.
Yeah.
Because later on, actually,
the difference, I think Nunez has a bit more self-awareness than Lukaku, and also is at an adequate body fat percentage is all I'll say. So I think there's a lot more to Nunez, I think, than Lukaku at this point. I think potential. It was quite expensive, but I do think as well, Liverpool also now we're resetting their front line now that Mane left. They have to sort of just try and rejig things around. So I think going forward for Liverpool, you'll start to see a front line of Salah, Hakpo, and Nunez, and I guess Diaz mixed in there as well, and Diogo Jota. So I think this is a bit of a rejig into their front line. And I think really when it comes to like Liverpool, like Reggie, you touched on Liverpool having a bit of a rough season. That I don't think that was really down to Nunez or your front line. That was down to the defense and the midfield. So that's just the way I see it. If you want to also add to it, Jesse.
Yeah, I'd chuck him in potential. Look, I think Benfica strikers tend to be a little bit. I think they stat pad in Portugal. I mean, if you look at the striker that they've got this season, Ramos, he's putting up similar numbers to what Nunes was before he left. So I think it's hard to really judge on how they're going to go elsewhere. But from what you can see of Nunes, like he's definitely doing all the right things. It's just got to start paying off.
He hit the post a lot, didn't he? In the first 10 games.
You'd rather that than over, Timo Werner, who's fucking offside all the time. Like,
Yeah.
all like Nunes really needs to do is like refine his shooting ability to get it in the goal more than hit the post. And like he had a bit of injuries. He had that red card suspension as well. I think, he's got all the ability there. I think a lot of people rate him a bit harder on him, one because of his price tag and because of the Community Shield final when he scored and Haaland didn't. I think he's like that added a lot of pressure onto him to be like, oh, he's going to be better than Haaland. And obviously Haaland's Haaland. So I think like Nunes didn't do himself any favors there, but I think he's just got a lot of potential. And when it's with Liverpool in an off season, it's hard to really judge their players because he wasn't getting the service that Mane and Salah were getting the season beforehand and the season before that. So
that's fair.
Potential. Chuck him right in potential, Reggie. Chuck him right in there. Next, Casemiro. No. It's ordered differently. Wait, is it Casemiro or Tchouaméni? Who was more expensive? Was it
Tchouaméni?
Tchouaméni.
Yeah, Tchouaméni. All right, never mind. All right, I went premature, not for the first time. Aurelien Tchouaméni for Real Madrid, centre midfielder, 80 million euro fee, current value of 60 million euros. Played 33 games in the league and also was part of France's World Cup runners-up team. I'm going to say good. I think it was a great signing then, and I think it will prove to be a great signing over the next however many years when Madrid built another dynasty.
Yeah, I think, if you look at the player he was replacing, which is Casemiro, that's hard to do. Like, Casemiro is great. We saw like the impact, we'll discuss it next, of how good he can be in any kind of team. He was breaking into a team that's got Kroos, Modric, and all those other guys in the midfield already. It's hard, and he's done it, and he's not looks bad at all. He does have to build up some game time. He's not played as much as others, but 23 years old. If he kicks on, he's going to be like a really good signing for Madrid for their dynasty with Bellingham and Camavinga and all that. So good.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we've talked about it on a podcast, but we've definitely discussed it in some format where Madrid will sign a midfield and stick with them for the better part of a decade, like we've seen with Modric and Kroos and Casemiro for so long, and they're setting themselves up quite well for the future. Like you said, with Bellingham, Camavinga's had to be patient and play at left back for the time being, but I think the fee is going to be the last thing you talk about when you reflect on his time with Real Madrid.
Exactly, yeah. And mind you, before Madrid signed him, there was talks of him going to Liverpool, talks of him going to United. It was highly, highly touted. Very talented player. And I think as well, given that the way he actually, I know he missed a penalty in the final of the World Cup, but the way that he came in as part of the double pivot, replacing, playing in the role that Kante and Pogba were doing, to be able to step into their shoes. So he's shown that he can handle pressure. He can step into Casemiro's shoes and then step into Kante and Pogba's shoes and not really look out of place. So he's one for the future, which you do have to judge these sort of things. So I'm going to say good as well for him. Cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
I agree. I have nothing to add.
Yoni?
No, it's okay.
Oh, great. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, good. Well, I'm sure you have something to say about this one because now I can actually settle down, not jump the gun again. We do have Tchouaméni's predecessor at Madrid, Casemiro for United. Hefty fee for a defensive midfielder, 70.65 million euros. Currently valued at 40 million euros. And look, as a defensive midfielder, you got 4 goals and 3 assists in 28 appearances in the league. I'll go again with Casemiro. I've professed how much I love him on this podcast numerous times. I'm going to put him in good as well. I think he's just been absolute, as you said, Jesse, the ways he can transform a team when you put him in there. He's been he's been the defensive midfielder that we've been crying out for a long time.
Is it are we saving one spot for better than Bitcoin?
We'll get onto it. Don't worry. I'm sure we.
No,
can
because
all
I
agree.
legit want to put him in better than Bitcoin, and I
Yeah.
can back it up.
I, I also had him better than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
I
okay.
think I think what he
I'm not
did
mad.
at United, like you guys were your midfield wasn't that great. Let's be honest, straight up.
No, it's not. Not at
You
all.
you sign a player like Casemiro. A lot of people would said he was going to struggle. Premier League's different to Real Madrid. He doesn't have Cruz and Modric protecting him and all that.
He's old.
Yeah, he's old.
They said he was
He's in it-
coming
he's
for
in it
the
for
money.
the- yeah,
Yeah.
money as well.
But you see exactly what he did. He inspires the team. He's very passionate. Like he's only been at United for a season, but he's extremely passionate. He's turned your midfield around. Your midfield is now the least of your concerns. It's your defense and your forwards not scoring. That's where your biggest issues are. I think he really solved a lot of problems just being there. And he makes Fred look good. Like that's not being great.
Does. I've got
Um,
a few really good stats here. So he's actually played 51 games, scored 7, assisted 7 for a defensive midfielder. He's with him in the team. United have won more than 75% of their games. Without him, they've not even won 50% of their games. He is United's 4th most creative player. He's the 2nd most defensive player. So, and as Jesse said, like he just brings everyone up. Like he's kind of like knowledge, his passion, like everything that he brings with him just makes everyone play better.
He does, and there's been a lot of revisionism as well because now that he got taken out of Madrid and Madrid struggled a little bit, and he elevated United so much. People are now realizing that, as you said, Jesse, it's not so much that Cruz and Modric were making him look good. It was more the fact that he made them look good. And I remember his insertion into the Madrid side is what actually got them to then go on to win their 3 Champions Leagues in a row. And sort of the same thing. He's a very, very transformative player. Honestly, one of the best of his generation, and still got a lot left to prove. Look, I thought better than Bitcoin is just like a big category to have, and obviously the fee is quite a lot for a guy of his age. I'm happy to elevate it. I just had good because I
think about it this way as well. If you now
look back,
if you look back at that 7 mil now, okay, you look back a year from now, are you thinking?
I don't want to look at the 7 mil. Thank you.
No, 70 mil.
Back at it.
At the
70 mil. Oh, PTSD speaking.
And you look back at that and you think, was it worth it? You'd be like, yeah, hands down, it was more than worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
that's fair. I'm happy to
well.
elevate it. I'm happy to elevate it. I'm happy to be. If I'm going to be wrong on anything, I'm glad it's that. So let's chuck Casemiro as better than Bitcoin for the crypto bros. Next guy we've got. Don't ask me to pronounce his name. Michailo Mudryk from the Ukrainian left winger from Chelsea, 70 million euros, with a hot 15 appearances and 2 assists, and that's it. I want him in. Who'll prove this? I think he's terrible. I think he's trash.
Yeah, I think like
I think he's pure shit.
His main quality is his pace, and like he doesn't really do a lot with it. But at least with someone like Raheem Sterling, he had an instinct for goal that was shown in the Premier League, and kind of justifies going after a player like him. But yeah, being dominant in Ukraine is a bit questionable. They've signed him to like a super long deal, which is
8 years.
also quite strange. Like you're going to be trying to offload this dude if it doesn't work out. He's going to be wanting quite a lot of money because of what he's entitled to with Chelsea already. He kind of reminds me a bit of a Dan James, where he just runs a lot and does nothing. So yeah, I'm keen to put him in the very bottom.
That's a great comparison. That's actually very good.
At least Dan James scored on his debut. Scored his first couple of games. Mudryk, it's just fast for nothing. He had a good
Dan James worked hard.
Yes. Well, Mudryk had a good first 45 minutes of his Chelsea career, but granted, that was against Trent, so take it down with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
other than that, he's looked horrible. And even then, like he had no end product in that game against Liverpool.
I kind of feel for him in a way. He was put in a team that's so shit. Like he's shit. Like he's contributed to the shitness too, though.
Yeah,
but it doesn't help being in that team the way that they were playing and who the managers were.
It's also like if I'm looking at it from Chelsea's perspective, when they signed him in January, I just thought, well, okay, why are they signing him? Like,
Because Arsenal was going for it.
well, yeah, but like Arsenal weren't going to pay that price, and Chelsea just came in, but it just does not suit them. They didn't need him at all.
From
And he
Mudrik's-
also got done, for any gym rats out there, he got done on TikTok by Joey Swole because he shamed some fat guy at the gym, like filmed on his Instagram, and then Joey Swole went in on him. It's pretty funny.
If you think
so
of
it's
it
also
from
pretty-
Mudrik's perspective as well, like if he knows he's not capable of performing at this standard, he's just got a 9-year contract as well. Like,
Yes.
where's the motivation going to come for him to get better when he knows he's going to get paid?
You know what's the,
Yeah.
the real worry as well? His XG was 0.38, like for the season.
Sounds like Chelsea all over,
So
really.
he wasn't even expected to get half a goal for the entirety of the season. That's hilarious. Jesse, have you got anything to say on our little Ukrainian refugee?
I had him in outlook not so good. I think he's got the ability to be great, but it's just not showing at the moment. Yeah, there's not really much more to say. He's not been great at Chelsea, but he could be. And that's why I wouldn't put him in the bottom. But yeah, that's all.
Was
That's fair
that
enough. Do we have a final
2
tier?
or 3 for the bottom?
I think it's 3 for the bottom.
Yeah, chuck him there. He deserves to be there. Come on.
I think by default, I want to put every Chelsea player there, to be fair. Next, we've got Alexander Isak for Newcastle, 70 million euros, 22 appearances, 10 goals, and 2 assists. I like him in good. I think he, especially second half of the season when he settled in, I thought he was fantastic for Newcastle.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. He was massive in that notorious game against Spurs as well. I didn't realise until putting the list together that he had cost so much, so I was caught off guard there, but I think he's a pretty sensible signing for Newcastle, and once he got settled in, he started to play way better.
I think it was a great buy for Newcastle because I always thought he was good prior to coming, and then the fact that they were number one able to bring Isak to them, just being a team on the rise, because I reckon he could have gone to any top 6 team more than likely and would have done really well. Like United could have used him so much last season, really. And then he also, by bringing him, I feel like Callum Wilson lifted his game. And they actually, once they started playing together as well at the end of the season, like they actually played really good and they were happy for each other to score and this and that. So there was a really good competition between the two of them. So I thought it was a really a super buy.
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic, Jesse.
I had him in potential, but I mean, if you guys want to put him in good, that's great.
Jesse doesn't watch Premier League, so
no, I mean, he's another Dortmund wonder kid who's doing well. So I mean, it's good to see. But yeah, he did score a lot in the second half of the season. Probably would have had more goals if he wasn't injured for a big chunk of the first half. Yeah, he's performing well, and he's probably going to kick on next season and really smash it. So
it'll be interesting to see if Colin Wilson plays as much as he did last season, or if it's going to be more Isak now.
Well, it looks like
it will be Isak. I think Isak will be on the left wing because they've sold Sam Maximin to Saudi now.
Oh,
the 3 big northern clubs of England, Man United, Man City, and Newcastle, have a Scandinavian striker now. So
yes, and who is the best? We shall see.
We'll get to him next year. When
we will. Or probably like in a future episode, actually, because you didn't discuss this when those chances are sure. But moving on, we've got Matthias de Ligt to Bayern Munich for 67 million euros. Marco Belli's actually gone up. First one on this list to have a Marco Belli increasing up to 70 million. Played 31 games across Bayern's season. I thought it was strong for them, but Jesse, you obviously watch about 100 times more Bayern Munich than the rest of us combined. So we'll let you sort of take a lead on this one.
I think much like Casemiro, he really came in and settled our defense. Definitely was needed, and was really surprised that we could actually get him.
That was a very surprising signing when he got him. It was very out of nowhere.
Yeah. it shocked a lot of us, and it was confusing because we already had a few defenders, but he proved that he was the solid choice. I think he would probably fit into the good category, potentially better than Bitcoin, but that's up to how you guys want to see it. He calmed down on the fence and put some leadership back in there because there wasn't really a whole lot leadership going on in our defense. And obviously we know how great he can be, like we saw what he did with Ajax. I think he's found his form again with us. He was kind of struggling at Juve, so I think it's a great business for Bayern. I don't think anyone at Bayern's complaining about him at all. Not our worst sighting of the season, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I do think I'm happy for him as well that he went to Bayern and it all worked out really well as well. Again, I don't watch as much Bayern as Jesse obviously does, even though he probably only watches a couple of games in the season.
I'm not George, mate.
Yeah. But I have heard a lot about the way he has played really well, and as Jesse said, the leadership that he does bring to the team. I guess people maybe while he was at Juve, people forgot that he was a really strong leader when he was at Ajax. So it's good to see him kind of have that role again.
And he's still only 23. Like that time at Ajax,
That's
when he
insane,
captained to the league. Yeah, when he captained Ajax to the league and to that Champions League that semi-final run they had first go around, he was 19. 19, and he scored in the semi-final. Well, he scored to knock out Juventus in the quarterfinal, then scored in the semi-final against Tottenham. And not really through much fault of his own that they ended up losing that game. But to be doing all that at 19, he feels like he's been around forever, but he's still only 23. I want to put in a better than Bitcoin. They've locked up probably the most talented centre back for the next 10 years, and I think Bayern Munich have got him, and that's going to put Bayern Munich in another position to start seriously competing for Champions League again very soon, and if not for the next 10 years, it's going to be another sustained period of dominance.
What's interesting
across Germany and Europe?
What's interesting is that when the Dutch play, they get criticized for not having enough leadership in, and that includes De Ligt and Van Dijk, which is a bit.
De Ligt wasn't playing. He wasn't starting for whatever weird reason.
Because he's a back four centre back, and the Netherlands like to play in a back three.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really fitting the team as well as he should be. But he's no offense to Van Dijk, but he's probably their best defender at the moment. So they should probably be spacing there.
Can I ask you then? Because obviously, in regards to De Ligt, now that Kim is also at Bayern, is it going to be the two of them pairing? Is that
100%?
That's it. And how do you think they'll complement one another?
I think they'll be really good. I honestly still haven't seen enough of Kim play, so I don't really know his better.
I feel like they're very similar,
which is probably what we need because he's been paired with Upper all season, and he has a tendency to have brain fades or go off on a mission to try and score a goal. And then as a result, De Ligt's on his own and concedes. So, I think having someone who's just going to stay in the fence with him and, be that muscle there is probably going to help a lot.
I don't know who's drumming in the background, but I want better than Bitcoin. I think he's great. I think he's a fantastic player.
Yeah, I had him at the top as well, just purely because of his age. Everyone's talked about his leadership.
And if you consider the money, it's not that bad. 67 mil.
It's less than Harry Maguire.
Yeah, he's less
he's
than
less of a player than Harry Maguire. Come on.
He costs less than Hernandez, and he's probably been a better player. As much as I loved Hernandez, so
unless his career spirals out of control, I reckon Bayern could give that 70 mil back in 5 years.
100%.
Let's whack him at the top, eh?
Better than Bitcoin. Marc Cucurella.
Who approved?
Chelsea.
Yeah, mate.
Yes,
Right
let's
down
just
the
do it right at the bottom. Do we really need to go to Chelsea?
It's actually it's with Cucurella, I feel like it's more of an eye test than anything else.
Sucks.
When you watch him play, you see how out of depth he is when he plays for Chelsea. It honestly reminds me, and it's not just the hair, but Sideshow Bob hitting the rake as he.
I'll be honest. You can't convince me more that Arsenal and City both made an agreement to target players so Chelsea overspend on them.
It really felt like it that summer.
Because Man City wanted him. City wanted him, and I bet they're so fucking happy they didn't sign him because
And
he's
the
They'd
funny
rather
thing
have
is,
no
I
no
know, yeah.
fullbacks.
Well, no, exactly. And I know that he played in a few different positions, but he failed as a left centre back in a back three. He failed as a left back. He failed as a left wing back. And they brought him in. Spent 65.3 million euros on him for 24 appearances in the league in a position where I know he's injury prone, but they've got Ben Chilwell already. They didn't need to spend. If they needed like another option, you don't spend 65 million euros on a rotation left back or left wing back.
And he's he's 25. It's not like you're actually getting him for the potential. Like he should
No,
actually
exactly.
be pretty much peak kind of Cucurella.
What had he
He's shit.
done with
Played okay.
Brighton,
Played okay. He
like
played okay. That's about it.
to justify 65 mil though?
I think everyone at Brighton was looking better than what they actually were, and they just kind of went, "Wow, he must be good."
And it was also the whole Potter connection. They were like, "Oh well, Potter liked him.
Oh
He
yeah,
played."
I
But
always
they
forget.
didn't buy
Potter,
him.
they didn't have Potter then.
Yeah, they started Tuchel, Jesse's mate.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they
Potter
started
came
the
later.
season with Tuchel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but then they got Potter thinking, oh yeah, he'll get the best out of Cucurella, and he did not.
Yeah.
He
And actually,
did not.
Cucurella brought him down to his level.
No, exactly. And yeah, he's got the David Luiz, Sacha Bob vibe. There's something about Chelsea defenders and comically large afros that just doesn't work well. Not at all. All right, I think we got the most obvious play here, Erling Haaland. Just put him in Bitcoin, please.
Who approved this?
I don't know about this one. Look, if we go off comments, if we go off what Pep has recently said about Haaland, someone asked him if Haaland is fully adapted to the Manchester City system, and Pep said, "I would say that Haaland has adapted quite well at Man City once he starts scoring more than 60 goals a season. So clearly he's in good."
Can't tell
He
you.
did
I
make
would
some
put
errors.
him. I would put him in better than Bitcoin just for the mannerisms and the humor that comes with seeing Erlen doing anything. Like you see his videos outside of the soccer game, like it's just so funny.
And
It really
as I said in the
I would
chat the
love
other
to hear
day, I don't see Haaland ever leaving City. The man is obsessed. I don't think I've ever seen a player wear his jersey everywhere he goes, like on social media.
Yeah.
Every
He's a City
single
fan.
yeah, he's a City fan, and that's why like you guys were like, oh, he's gonna come because of Ole to United, and like everyone's like, oh, he'll go to Real Madrid eventually. I don't see it. I reckon
No, I don't
he's
see it either.
City through and through, and I think the only club he'll leave City for is when he's retiring. He'll go to Leeds for a season because that's his other club.
We can only
Or
gauge
he'll go
what
back to
he's
Malta.
like based on what we see through a screen, but it's just like so wholesome how much he actually like loves that club in a
He
modern
seems pretty
era
true to
where
himself.
a lot of City fans like we give them shit saying, you've only been a fan since like the oil money come in and stuff like that, but it is really
With him,
cool
we
to see.
know that that's not the case.
Yeah.
That's the
Haaland as well. He's what you see is what you get. He's very true to himself. Like Haaland is Haaland, and yeah, no, you're right. As you said, Richie, he made City worse, made them so much worse that they won the treble.
he.
But they didn't get 100 points in the league. They didn't win the league. Arsenal lost the league, so he did make them worse in the league.
I hate that
And
he
would
plays
they give
for
a shit?
like
No.
Norway because like I want a Haaland kit and I feel like a Norway kit is really hard to get a hold of. And I
Yeah.
don't want to buy a City kit.
You know what? It's funny is that he could have played for England because he was born in Leeds.
Yeah, but he'll just go drop for Harry Kane. What are you talking about?
It'd be on the bench.
If he played for England, we might have never really seen this Haaland because what made him kind of like what made everyone look at him is that 9 goals that he scored in the under 21s or under 19s or whatever it was.
Like
I mean, it also didn't help that his Champions League debut was against Liverpool and he scored like 2 or 3 goals or something.
But that was already
no, it wasn't
after.
his debut. His debut was against some bullshit side. He got a hat trick, but then he played a game against Liverpool and then got like a couple of goals as well. So he had that first like initial run in the group stages. Then Dortmund got him when we could have got him, but that's beside the point. And
I
then
don't.
it's
Yeah,
brought up
but
to
once
Dortmund.
again, I don't think you're ever going to get him. Let's be.
Yeah.
Apparently, no. When he was at Norway, when he was at Norway,
When he was at Molde.
Mulder, yeah, when he was at Mulder. Apparently, when Ollie, who was at the wheel, was the coach at the time. Apparently, he offered Haaland to United, and then we turned it down because in classic United fashion, that's what we do. So instead, we go ahead and buy the Aldi version. But that's the story for another day.
The one thing I like about him as well, like, and I think this is something that we all kind of love seeing in a player. He just enjoys it as well.
He
No,
does.
it's not like he does. He's like, oh, this is my job. It's not like he's like he gets frustrated really or anything. Like he'll be, he'll miss a chance and he'll just be like, I'll just do it again.
And I just love
exactly.
that there's no drama around him. Like as much as I love
At the moment.
Mbappe, like, and he seems to love playing the game. There's always storylines about what's going on, and then you just look at Haaland. He's like, I don't know, doing something funny.
Yeah, and Grealish even said as well, like he's he's the most dedicated player he's ever seen. Always recovering, sleeping, doing the hot cold therapy, all that sort of stuff. And
he loves football.
he's that
It's
kind of guy.
liver.
He takes it so seriously. And like, I mean, look, the Ronaldo fan in me looks at that and thinks, yeah, okay, well, you're going to go and have like a long career because that's what you need to be doing. And yeah, as you said, Jesse, just loves football. He just lives and breathes the sport. He's such a professional.
He's just like us, you guys.
He's just like us, but like not.
And he scored the most goals in the Premier League ever.
Yes.
He was up there for goals and assists, like total goals, like total contributions
But
goals.
it's the best season anyone's ever had in the Premier League.
Absolutely
by far.
blitz the hat trick records.
Yeah, like he's on his way to
He'll break the Premier League record before Kane does.
Yeah. I mean, even if
That's why Kane's
Kane
leaving.
even if Kane gets it, Kane will get it, and then Haaland will. If Haaland keeps this up, he's going to get the record in like what's the mathematics? Like another 7-8 seasons, he'll get it. So yeah, Kane can enjoy it for like a few years, and then it's Haaland's, and yeah, he's not going to leave.
he just loves it, man. Like if you remember, like 3 years ago, he was talking about his hat trick balls, and he goes, "I have 5 hat trick balls in my bed, and I sleep well with them. They are my girlfriends." Like, man, is just
He wakes up.
He's
He
here
wakes
all
up to
the
the
time.
Champions League anthem. He wakes up to the Champions League
Yeah.
anthem.
Yeah,
as his
yeah.
alarm. Like,
Well, there was
how
a
cool is that?
thing from when he was
That's
at Salzburg. Apparently, the captain of the team was like drove around and they found Haaland like out in the street, and he was just singing the Champions League anthem as he was walking around. Like, man, just fucking loves football.
On-
I
when-
love him.
We do.
I'll still never forget his goal he scored against PSG for Dortmund, where he got to play through to him, bounced off the defender, and the way he just struck. Why am I talking lyrical about this bloke? But the way he just struck the ball, and you hear the net just snap like that. The guy can hit the ball like he's like very few players. The way he can just strike the ball, it's like he's got this like the left boot of Roberto Carlos. It's unbelievable how much power and accuracy he can put.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I hate him.
Like,
I know.
no
he's
one
so
can hate him.
likable
It's so
too.
hard.
He's so likable. It's like, oh, like he wins the Champions League, and I'm hating every minute of it. And then he goes and has that cute little photo with his missus where they're kissing under the Norway flag. I'm like, I can't hate this shit. Why? I need to hate it, but I can't. It's so annoying. He needs to be he needs to have like a sex scandal or something. Like, I needs to rape someone just for me to start hating him. It's ridiculous.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that escalated.
All right, Mason
Man.
Greenwood, calm
Well,
down.
that's the thing. Our young striker goes in and does that. Why can't I'm manifesting? Okay, but
Don't manifest that. Oh, I just want to distance myself from Alex's comments there, please. If you're a,
Can I
you're a
say,
police officer and you're listening,
Football
FBI,
Daily would never say that.
football daily. What channel is that?
Jesus Christ. I think Haaland, this definitely, if there was a category above better than Bitcoin, he belongs in it. But
Yeah, I feel like he should have his own category, just Haaland.
yeah,
And we're coming
like,
up
look-
close to someone who should have their own category down the other
I
end.
don't know. I thought you were gonna do that. To be fair, I don't know why he didn't.
but I think like if you it's money well spent for City, and like they've got, I know everyone loves Mbappe, but Haaland is 100% better. So
Oh, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Moving on. Talking about Haaland enough. I'm going to give him. We'll go on to Rafinha for Barcelona. 58 million euros, 36 appearances in the league. I can't get over my rape comment. Wow. 36 appearances in the league, 7 goals and 7 assists. I think good for Barcelona. I think he's been a mainstay on their
No
own
way.
personally.
I'd put him in outlook not good.
Why? Okay, sorry.
They're trying to get rid of him even because they weren't happy with him.
No, they're trying to get rid of him because they have no money. They're going
he's
to make
been-
money back.
Mate, nah.
He's been their most consistent right winger, like their only right winger. He's been literally been playing there the whole year.
Yeah, but they were never happy with him.
Well, then why they keep playing him?
Well, because they had no choice. They're trying to replace him right now.
Because they have no money. They have no choice.
I don't think they're trying to replace him. I'm pretty sure.
No, they're trying. I'm pretty sure they're trying to sell. Well, Dembele might leave too. So
No, I
Yeah.
think they want to keep Dembele now, and they want to replace him.
They're constantly
no,
trying to
'cause
sell a lot of people.
Yeah,
for
I feel
no
like-
reason other than
I
financial.
feel like
This-
take Barcelona's transfer activity in that front with a grain of salt because they're a little bit all over the place.
The last rumors I saw were that Xavi straight up said he doesn't want them to sell Rafinha. And they rejected offers from Saudi Arabia, and they've gonna try and hold out against Manchester City, who
I
want to as
reckon
well.
he will not be a Barcelona player at the end of this.
What do you mean? Look,
Yeah.
10 goals, 12 assists throughout the season is nothing to scoff
That's
at.
great. That's
They
great.
can get
Um,
better. They can get better. Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, it
You've
was
also
a-
got to think.
It's not
You've
that
also got to think-
good when you're
No.
playing for Barcelona.
Well,
no, because we're all used to Messi, Neymar, and Suarez stats.
yeah. Also,
There's
like,
no three players
you-
in the world at the moment that could put up those stats
Yeah.
constantly besides
And
Mbappe
you've-
and Haaland.
and you've got to think stylistically for Barcelona. He's the only right winger who's left-footed. So he's pretty much like that's the reason why he's been a mainstay is because he offers them something that no one else does. Because all their other wingers, Torres, Dembele is kind of two-footed, but he never plays, so I won't count him. But Torres and Ansu Fati are all like right-footers who want to cut in and score. Rafinha's the only one there who's going to cut in and try and set up his teammates.
He started
And-
34 of the 50 games that he was
Yes.
eligible to play. Like he's definitely staying, and it's definitely good. He was a good player.
I think good.
You know what?
for
You know
Rafinha.
what? You know what?
Don't you say
think
Bruno?
in my head-
Fernandes?
I was thinking of Ferran Torres.
Oh my god. All
Oh
right,
my
well,
god.
That invalidates your opinion on this matter, Yanni. So thank you so much
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that.
you guys can discuss Rafinha.
Reggie.
Yeah, I'm happy to have him good. I had him for potential personally, just because I don't know, Barca are a bit going through like it's not exactly a banter era, but it kind of is.
They're a bit of a basket case.
Yeah, like I don't know what's going on with him. Like his stats could be as good as they are just because they're being forced to use him. But at the same time, yeah, like you said, they're happy with him. He's getting to play, and who knows what could happen if they start rebuilding their team properly. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Side note, that who really flopped at Barcelona though? Lewandowski.
Okay.
Potentially. That's cool
He
story.
they brought him in for the Champions League and that didn't happen.
Yeah, and he signed for them to win the Ballon d'Or. Good luck now, bro. Fucking
I know that was
useless.
winning it now with Mbappe and Haaland
Well,
around.
That means Messi was a flop because PSG signed Messi to win the Champions League.
Yeah,
I
he
agree.
flopped at PSG. Yeah, I'll take that.
I agree. Speaking of flops, should we just
Can we make a new category for this
do we
one?
need to talk about it? Is can we talk about it? Not argue, but this is Richarlison. For anyone who's not paying attention, this is Richarlison.
What was
approved
it?
this.
He scored 4 goals, got 4 yellow cards, but only one two, something like that.
Yeah, at one
Only
stage he had
only
more
one
yellow
counted.
cards for taking his shirt off than he had goals.
Yeah.
Yes. There's not really much to debate. I'm happy to talk about it though, just for the comedic
He's just
value.
such a useless striker. I never saw the appeal. They spent a lot of money for him when they had Harry Kane.
60 million euros.
Like he's not going to play your number 9. Like for him, it was a bad choice. For them, it was a bad choice.
I think they
I
were
can't think of-
fantasizing that he'd do this like a similar role to what Son does.
Yeah, I think so.
But even with Son's bad season, he's way better than Richarlison.
Yeah.
And
The funny-
they had Kulachevsky on the
Yes.
right, and he was, it was good the season before. It was still good despite injuries this previous season, although he was very injured. But
I
yeah,
think we are being
Also-
a bit too harsh
come
No,
on,
no, we're
mate.
not. No, we're not. No, we're not.
on the
I wanna
Charleston.
s-
Yeah,
No,
no.
he sucks.
No, yeah,
I'm
he
not
does-
saying
he
no.
does
I'm not saying he deserves to be in the he doesn't deserve to be in the lost category. He does. He's not being great, but I feel like sometimes there's a little bit too much harshness going on with him. He was injured for fair bit of the season. He barely started, and when he did start, he was actually putting in decent results. He wasn't scoring, but he was like contributing to their wins. Now, he also had Tottenham's not been great this season. They're shit manager. They have manager issues. I think Ange is going to get the best out of him next season, and I think we'll see Richarlison come back up, and I think his price will be justified. But I don't think I'm not saying he's going to move out of this category now. Like his last season was crap,
Right
but like
now,
when he was starting games, he actually did put in decent results.
I think so long as he's serving as this weird backup role for that front three, it's not going to work. Also, on you saying how we're being too harsh on him, I was just about to say, but the reason that's the case is because, and I love the dichotomy with, we're talking about how Haaland is so likable. Well, Richarlison's the polar opposite. He's so dislikable.
I speak for yourself, mate.
He's so
pretty
dislikable.
I'm pretty dislikable myself, don't get me wrong. But Richarlison is not a pleasant guy. It's not. I mean, look, maybe off the field he's a nice person. I don't know, but on field, oh god, nothing really redeeming about him on the field.
He carries on when things aren't going his way, which like everyone has the right to be upset in that context, but he comes out and speaks to the media and pretty much forces the manager's hand to play him. And then when he plays, yeah, he did get into a good position and score an offside goal. But after that, he drops his head and spits chips a bit. I think Everton have a few questions to ask of him as well. When the chips were down for them, he essentially gave up. He doesn't have a good attitude. He stops trying, and he's very public about it. So that's part of the reason why he's so unlikable. I wouldn't have spent close to 60 mil on a player that carries on like that, but that's just me.
I'll chuck him in the bin.
You gotta remember though, like he's obviously got the ability. I think with Kane,
Does he though?
well, I mean, he's starting for Brazil over Jesus and all
Yeah,
that.
but
So
they don't really
How
have great
that-
strikers at the moment. And like,
How'd that work out for them?
even his stats, like Everton and Watford or wherever it was, like, it's not like they were amazing.
What do you mean?
They were good. They were not 60 million.
They're not
euros.
amazing.
He was,
but sorry,
wide
if it-
midfielder for
So at
Watford,
Everton, he scored 53 goals in 152 games.
okay, I'm
Uh-oh.
not even
So
gonna.
he's a 1 in 3. Great.
I'm not even gonna bother doing this because you're literally about to sign a striker for what $75 million, who's less talented than.
And we're
Richarlison.
not judging him here right now. We'll do that in a year's time. But currently,
No, but I'm just saying, like Alex
saying-
just said, Alex just said he's not worth that much based on his 53 goals, 14 assists in 152 appearances for Everton. Like that's a shit club. He was doing well for them. Like those stats are decent for Everton level.
Lukaku did better for Everton.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Lukaku was great until he signed for United. You guys seem to have.
He was great with us first season. Thank you.
He's a fat prick. I don't know. Look. I mean, we all agree anyway, so there's not really much to debate.
I just think he's going to turn. I genuinely think he's going to turn good.
That's your Ange hat, though. I mean, look, you're the first person you're the first person who's not a Tottenham fan, even then.
He did just score a hat trick in the preseason.
Whom I've seen run defense for Richarlison, so I'm a bit perplexed by that. But
no, I mean, it's got nothing to do with Ange. I just think with Kane leaving, I think he will perform better. If Kane does leave. Yeah. And I also,
if he performs, I'm glad to be proven wrong. I
also don't believe in his whole negative attitude on the offside, like off pitch. They were like, yeah, he's a bit cocky. He's very much like Ibrahimovic, but like he also does a lot of good things. Like he donates 10% of his salary to help people going through cancer.
To help tax. That's what it is.
It's good for him.
Yeah, but that's not factored into his transfer fee, and that's the main talking point here.
Part of the negotiations.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Also too, if you want to, if he's. I mentioned
he's still shit.
I mentioned Brazil at the World Cup. If you really want to go about Brazil not going great, Anthony needs to go down then. So,
well, actually, I was thinking
Anthony doesn't start. To be
speaking of that, though, I was thinking we should try to make it where it's 3 per level here, and then it's going to make it really interesting trying to do that.
Well, they can't because then we're going to put the next guy into into a category because I believe that the next man, Lisandro Martinez, I think he is better than Bitcoin. I will invest in him tenfold.
Well, as a
Alright,
Man
so
United
my
fan, I'll go
opinion-
first.
No, you go first. Rachel.
According to some of the group, Richie, you're a Man United fan.
I
Yes.
thought this signing was going to be absolutely fucking hilarious because he is small and he plays like
taller than
he's
me.
7 foot tall, man. He's very impressive. Him going down had a lot to do with Man United's dip in form, much to my pleasure. But yeah, him and Casemiro, as well as the good run of form from Rashford, is why Man United had a very brief window where they were talking about pushing for a treble. So,
Oh, shit.
It was only a treble, wasn't a quad.
quadruple, sorry.
Yes. Well, I mean, quads up for
Yeah.
everyone. But I think better than Bitcoin. He just completely transformed our entire defense. He can.
I had
he
him
can
as
muster everything in the back line.
good. Only because he did miss such a big chunk of the season.
Yeah.
So did
I-
Casemiro though,
but
and we chuck Casemiro.
I
on
can
the
see in the
Bitcoin.
Casemiro
but
didn't miss
with
nearly as
Casemiro,
much.
he still played 51 games. I don't think Martinez
They
played.
played this. Casemiro played one more game in the league than.
But I'm
Martinez.
talking overall 51 games.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But I'm also factoring in, like, I mean, again, this is United hat. Martinez just changed our entire side. The way we could play, we could actually play out the back somewhat because of him, because the way he can play
And
the
you
ball.
could see how much that
He's
was missing
strong.
because we needed that pass through the middle that he only he does.
Exactly, and he's surprisingly strong in the air for a short bloke, still taller than me, but that's beside the point. Strong, aggressive in the tackle. Also has that tenacity and attitude that was been lacking for United for the better part of 10 years. It's just everything that we've been missing in a defender, and if it meant that we eventually got to see the back of Harry Maguire,
You have to be really good, like,
The only reason it
Between
took so long to
Martinez
see the
and
back of
Varane
Maguire
to
is just
bench
how long it
Maguire.
took him to turn.
that's good. That's good for me, Yoni. Reggie, what'd you say? Sorry.
oh, I said, like, you have to be really good as a defender between Martinez and Varane to finally bench Maguire.
That's the thing. He did the best thing possible for United. But yeah, I'm sticking with the Bitcoin selection. If anyone else wants to agree or disagree.
Well, I think if we're gonna do the 3-3-3-3-3, he needs to be in good, and then we'll have to move someone down from good, and from potential.
What? It's not a formation. We can put
It's
them wherever
it's
we
not.
want.
It doesn't matter. It
what's-
doesn't really
what-
matter.
What rules this? Like Yoni's kind of just inserted a rule
To
in,
make
like-
it interesting, just
It's
to make-
OCD.
Look,
it's factos. It's not interesting. It's factos.
I have Martinez in good. I don't think he was necessarily as important as you guys feel like he might have been. Because like once he was injured, you only lost 3 games.
It's not about the losses though. It's
No,
more
no, but
about
I'm just
what
saying,
he
like,
helps us
when-
create.
yeah.
Like, we lost a big part of our spark once he was gone. That's actually like such a
But the thing is, though, you still won. Like you lost 4 games. One of them was against City, in the final, and the other one was against Sevilla. Sevilla. Oh, fuck me, not having a great time tonight. In the Europa, but you won pretty much every other game besides a draw against Tottenham. And that's quite a lot of games that you played without him there. So
But I think what
I
That's
don't
'cause we had
necessarily think
Luke
he was
Shaw.
super important to your defense as like he was definitely important, but I don't think losing him at that stage in the season didn't really ruin your season much as like
It
It didn't, but
really
I think
did,
that's
though.
also
It was
because by then
actually
we kind of
close.
gelled as
It
well.
was
And there was a
actually
period
close
it was the
to
last
ruining
4
our
games.
season, though. Like that actually almost ruined our season, though, because at that point we started in losing and drawing a bunch of dumb games, and we nearly gave up top 4 to Liverpool.
well,
We
but you
got
didn't though.
very-
You drew 1 game and lost 2 in the league. You won.
Yes, but it's also it's also the manner in which we
You
played.
you still beat 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, but it
5.
still affects the way we played. You know,
It's the way we played, though. And
David De Gea
literally
has
looked
17
like
clean
dog shit.
sheets, but we still swapped him because we needed a keeper that suits the way that Ten Hag wants to play.
But the entire time, in that entire period, you only conceded 1, 2, 4, 6
Right,
goals.
but we're
in
not talking
the-
about the defensive aspect of it necessarily. We're talking about what he does to actually connect the defense to the midfield to the attack. Like
But that's what I'm saying is you're still winning and you're still playing well.
I think
Like,
what
no, but we weren't playing well.
I just
think
don't
what
think
they
he's
keep
better than
alluding
Big
to
Wayne.
is
we were
like-
winning, but we were not playing well.
not just on the field as well. Between him and Casemiro, they brought leadership that they were searching for, which you can't
Yes.
just justify on the pitch.
And he's an elevating kind of player. Like I was thinking about it during the week, where we now got Onana in, who we hope to help transform the way we sort of do goalkeeping. When you think about it, I've always stated that when we got Ten Hag in, I wanted us to sort of replicate what Liverpool did with Klopp. Well, the real transformative signing for Liverpool was when they got Van Dijk, and then they got Alisson just as like that final sort of piece in the puzzle to build a successful team. Martinez is kind of like our Van Dijk in that he was that player that came in and actually like just slotted in perfectly as a centre back. And you sort of once you got him in, you thought to yourself, how did we go without a guy like this for so long? And that's what Martinez is. He's very transformative. And Yanni and I were in agreement. He's probably was our signing of the season over Casemiro.
I 100% disagree with that. I think Casemiro is a far more important player.
I don't even know if you've watched any games that United played though, Jesse. Right?
I have, but I still see Casemiro as a more important player. Your midfield was your biggest.
Casemiro was definitely more important. Like definitely more important.
I just don't see Martinez as a better than Big Wayne player. Not yet.
So-
Reggie, you've got the final say.
I had him
We
as
don't, 'cause-
good, but
Yeah.
definitely,
Where's George?
I definitely thought he was up there, being
As I
as
said, I
important
actually
as
had him as
Casemiro.
good. Yeah, I had him as good because he didn't play as much as I wanted him to play.
I'll chuck him in good then because
My favourite moment for him though wasn't for United. It was when the Netherlands try to stick like 4 over 6'2" strikers on him.
Yeah, I just want to say too that whole going into the season, everyone's like he's too short. You got to remember what league he was coming from. The Netherlands, like I think, by on average, have the tallest people in the world. He was always going to be fine to go up against taller players.
Yeah, but he's not
Yes.
playing in the Netherlands. He's playing in the Premier League.
Yeah, but he's used to dealing with tall people, so
And he was really
always
good at
going to be
reading-
fine.
He does something that we thought Harry Maguire could do, and he couldn't. But Lissandro reads the game really well. Like that's like his biggest strength is probably how well he reads the game. So he can come prepare himself for these headers, for the tackles that he tackles a lot. So
Yeah, the intangibles.
Also, on your note, Reggie, my favorite moment of him was actually after they won the World Cup. Salt Bay is trying to get a photo with him and trying to grab on the World Cup, and Martinez was side-eyeing him like a lot, like wanted to kill Salt Bay. So that's personally my favorite. Oh, that could have been a nomination for funniest moment of the year. For God's sake. Oh, whatever, too late now. Well, moving on to more Chelsea. Raheem Sterling for 56.2 million euros. He had a return of 6 goals and 3 assists in 28 appearances in the league. How the hell has his market value gone up?
I
How
have
did it go to
no
70?
idea. I double
That
checked
can't
it.
be right. That's that's
his
a
market
glitch.
his market value is 55 million.
He's shit. I won't look. I won't put him in who approved this because
I'd say his outlook not good because he does
Yeah,
have
yeah.
9 goal contributions in a really shitty team.
yeah, and I suppose in a way the signing made sense. Like compared to the other 3 in the bottom tier, Raheem Sterling has like a very good track record, has a proven track record of performing on the big stage.
Yeah, he was also the
it's
first
just-
signing, right? That,
Yeah,
like,
he was.
in that summer transfer window. So at the time, it actually definitely made sense to get him because
Yeah,
Mudryk, you didn't
and
have
he's only
extra.
he's still only 28. Like he's been around forever, but he's only 28.
I think also if you got him, Chelsea just didn't know how to use him.
No,
He played 14 games as a striker, 7 on the left and 6 on the right. Like they were just chucking him wherever they could.
Yeah.
We all know his best position is a right winger.
no, it's a left winger. I'm pretty sure.
Whatever, one of the wings. But regardless, is like
He actually was really good in the right wing when it was Sane, Aguero, and him, and he'd be on the right, and like him and Sane would just go
yeah. I guess that's
cross
what
through
I'm.
to the next one, and then
Yeah.
I guess that's why I believe he's a good right winger. I mean, I'm not really watching that
He's
much,
good. He's good in the wing.
but
Yeah.
like I think 9 goals, 4 assists all across 38 games for Chelsea in the season. I like didn't perform well, but didn't perform great. I think he's definitely got the potential. He's only 28 too, so like he's still got years that he can spend with Chelsea and
The only
better
thing
and help
I
them
don't think
improve.
there's potential there is because they do also have Mudrik, and then they do also have I can't pronounce his name.
Makwoko.
Madueke? Madueke?
Madueke. Yeah, Madueke.
Yeah.
And they just
Yeah.
got Jackson and they got Nkunku. Like, that's why I just don't see where Sterling's going to start playing.
Yeah.
Or
And
he can go back to being
but I don't think it was
wing
who
back,
approved this,
like he
because I
played
think
for
he actually
Brendan.
did okay.
The other thing as well, like it's also outlook not so good because, well, yeah, I guess as you're touching on Yoni, because they've got all these plays, like where does he fit? And I think as well, it seems like he's phoned it in. He's happy just to do whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to look good for him
I see him as an outlook not so good.
or Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely
same.
not who'll approve this. No, that's harsh. Definitely outlook not so good because it's like, yeah, the signing kind of made sense at the time, but now hindsight being 2020, obviously we kind of think, well, okay, not really much is gonna happen here. It's gonna be hard to sort of see him actually being in the first team next
Yeah.
season. I don't think they're gonna be like persisting with him in like any of those sort of attacking positions.
I think if you if you consider the fact that he was a proven player in the Premier League for ages for Manchester City, like it's the fee that they paid wasn't outrageous. Like
He had the
not at all,
resume
no,
to
not at all.
back it up.
yeah. So I feel like it was well and truly worth it.
It just hasn't worked out, that's all.
You just can't predict how the season's going to go. Probably signed too many players, tried to force them all into one team. That's their issue. Not really a Sterling issue. It's not his fault that the team was just overall shit. So
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, with
definitely just
the
a Chelsea
Chelsea
issue.
signings as well, I get like a bit of a vibe that they were signing players and then trying to base their plan afterwards rather than having a plan and setting out after players.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly right, and just didn't really it just did not make sense at all. And it's also another example of City knowing when and how to sell a player. So I'm not going to say that they fleeced Chelsea. It's just that, unfortunately, it's one of the things that hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
But that's that, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll do a bit of a quick recap on the plays. So we've
question.
got. Yeah,
Are you
go.
sure you don't want to do it 3-3-3-3-3?
yes,
I'm 100%
Look at
certain.
it. Look at it, and it's so easy.
that's
But
but it's not. It's
but it's-
not.
but
Move
it's
Rafinha
facts.
down one, and then you move.
But we're not
probably
removing
Darwin
Rafinha down one. No. Yeah. There we go. That's better.
That's
Yep,
even
Haaland.
worse.
Who approved Haaland? That's what we're gonna settle on.
Yeah, who in
Yoni,
the
you're
league
just
let
gonna-
City sign him?
Yeah, Yoni, you're just gonna have to accept this little bit of OCD that you got going on because
Everyone,
it's
the rest of the
just
team point useless.
just factos. Anyway, so we'll all right, let's ignore that. We'll go through a bit of a recap now on the plays. So we've got in Better Than Bitcoin, we've got Casemiro, Matthias de Ligt, and Erling Haaland. Aurélien Tchouameni, Alexander Isak, Rafinha, and Lisandro Martinez as good signings. Enzo Fernandez, Anthony, and Darwin Nunez as potential to be good. Wesley Fofana and Raheem Sterling as outlook not looking so good. And Michele, Ukrainian bloke, Marco Correa, and Richarlison as who the fuck approved this signing?
Yeah, well, I'd be
Is it the
curious.
problem
I'd be
of-
curious to see how we would go if we did the next 10 as well, because Enzo Fernandez pops up again in the
Okay,
next.
To Benfica.
Benfica only signed him in August
Yeah.
that year.
Yeah, but
July.
wasn't it for like 10 million?
44.
Oh, look, I mean, they still made 80 million profit, so good on them.
Yeah.
but
But there's a couple of like interesting ones that would be like, Calvin
who else
Phillips.
was there?
Calvin
Oh,
Phillips
God.
was 49 million, number
Yep, who-
19.
Who approved him?
Jules Koundé at Barca for 50 mil.
That's a good signing.
Is Gabriel Jesus 52 mil. to
Wasn't
Arsenal.
Koundé played out of position, like as a right back a lot?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he did well, and he played there for France, and he
yeah,
actually does
yeah,
well there.
Yeah, that's true.
Christian Romero for 50 mil to Spurs.
I actually still think he's got potential there.
I
Personally,
think potential. He's a weird unit. He's a bit of a loose unit.
Here's my favorite one: Anthony Gordon to Newcastle for 45 mil.
That's who approved
I don't know
this.
if you guys
He's-
remember,
he's
but at the
garbage.
time it happened, I told you guys it was going to be shit.
Levandowski to
I mean,
Barca
most of us
No
agree
one
that.
rated him, so
Well,
that's fair.
No one rated Gordon.
Flop. for
Lewandowski to Barca for
Yeah.
45 mil.
That's a flop.
Yeah, and I think it's good. Nunes to Wolves for 45 mil.
Oh, that flopped, didn't it? Like, didn't they sell him? Or am I thinking of someone else?
No, he's
Wait,
still there.
who was this? Sorry.
Nunes. Nunes. That
He
one.
didn't score though.
Nunes,
Right?
sorry.
Is this Matthias?
Oh, that's not the
Nunes?
that's not the
Yeah.
striker.
Matthias Nunes for
Yeah.
Wolves. Yeah, he's not been great at all.
That's been all right, I think.
It's not the striker, right? Because I was
No,
thinking
he's a midfielder.
Makeda to West Ham for 42 mil.
Who?
Lucas.
Makeda.
I don't know how to say
Oh,
it.
I think he said Makeda, like the
I heard
this
Makeda
guy
too.
from- yeah, I'm thinking great turn by Makeda. No, Paqueta. He's been good. I like him. I think he's great.
Oh, well, he had a really good first half of the season, and then he kind of like dissipated.
No, other way around. It was better in the second half. It was great for the
No.
UA for conference, whatever the hell that is. It was great for that. I think it's
Yeah,
it's
but
fantastic.
not in-
Paqueta.
Speaking of those guys, it's going to be interesting to look at the next lot of expensive transfers, seeing as someone paid a crazy amount of money for a bag of rice.
I mean, inflation, man. It's just it's hitting everyone.
Yeah, look,
unfortunately.
It's just the new Harry Maguire. That's all it is.
We'll
I think that should be the
revisit
next
that.
episode. I think we should
I
predict
think
how
we
we
should
think they're going to go.
definitely-
We should do it when the
we should definitely
transfer
revisit it.
ends, like on September 1st or whatever it is. Do it
Uh,
then.
like August 1st.
August
No, it's
31st.
September 1st, mate.
Well, it's September. It'll be September for us. We should, but we can also definitely review the current ones because there's already been a lot of big signings that have happened or are bound to
Yeah,
happen.
there's
according to our
about-
mate Romano.
16 signings over 50 mil already.
Mm.
Yeah, but how many of them are Saudi Arabian? Actually,
Three.
probably a handful.
One.
Probably just a handful. Okay, who was the one?
Malcolm to Al Hilal.
They're getting for over 50 million.
60 million they signed
They're
him
going for
for.
60 million.
Because they go
That's
for the big
bad.
wages.
Oh, and they paid 55 for Ruben Neves.
What about
Yeah.
Koulibaly?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
There's two.
nah, Koulibaly wasn't much, but Malcolm, I'm surprised the transfer fee was so expensive. Like, what the hell?
Al Hilal spent 60 on Malcolm, 55 on Neves, and 40 on Sergej Milinkovic Savic.
Milinkovic
Milinkovic
Savic,
Yep. Thanks, guys.
got there in the end.
Yeah. Jesus.
That's wild. Well, I mean, it'll be cool actually reviewing those signings, including the Saudi signings too. It's getting beyond ridiculous now, who they keep signing. But
Oh,
that'll be
shout out to Saudi
That'd be
Arabia
a story.
signing Sadio Mane for
yeah,
40
they're going
million.
off your
So
hands now. Yeah.
we break even. Love that.
Well, he's going to be paired up with Ronaldo, so I'd like to see those egos clash. That'd be quite interesting.
Oh mate, I hope he punches Ronaldo in the face too.
hey.
That would make my day.
Hey. I resent that. I
Yeah,
resent that.
you resent it, but oh well.
You don't even like Mane. But
I
we'll
don't,
move that
but
on.
it'd be funny to see him punch Ronaldo.
It would be pretty funny. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. It actually kind of would be funny. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do leave feedback, and please, obviously, during the off season, provide some content ideas for what you want to listen to. We do definitely want to be discussing, like I said, the chances that have happened or are rumored or close to happening. But please, as well, feel free to leave any feedback, any things that you want to be hearing about, guys. Anything else that you would like to mention before we wrap it up?
Yeah, breaking news. Jay-Z is going to make an audacious bid to buy Tottenham from Joe Lewis.
Oh,
So,
oh yeah, that's right. Joe
Don't
Lewis, insider trading. Naughty boy.
Yeah.
Joe Lewis has he's been remanded into custody for insider trading, yeah, as you just said. So Jay-Z is going to try and get some billionaires together.
They also thought about buying Crystal Palace because the name was cool. So we'll see.
Oh, Tottenham will have 100 problems, and so will Jay-Z.
They got 99 problems and all of them are Richarlison. Jesse, Yoni, and Reggie, Yoni, Jesse. Anything else quickly?
No, that's
No.
all.
Oh,
No.
good.
Let's go Matildas tomorrow. Fuck
Yes, let's go. The
Jesse
Matildas.
will be
Everyone,
in the game. Good luck, Jesse.
yeah. We'll be level
you will?
3.
Is it here in Melbourne?
Yeah.
It is. Okay, we're at Amy.
Yeah. A Melbourne Rectangular Stadium because they can't use
Is it tomorrow? Or is it Tuesday?
No, it's tomorrow. 8
Tomorrow,
p.m.
mate.
What do you think it was Tuesday? Okay, cool. Well, yeah, no, good luck to the Matildas. Let's hope they can actually get through. Good luck to them. Hope New Zealand take some L's because that'll make me very happy. Other than that, guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We will catch you guys next time. Have a good week.
Bye.
Adios.